Hello! Hi everybody. It's episode 2. Welcome to episode 2 of Transylvania Beckons here on The Rolling Nomads. As always, I am Avery and I play literally everyone else who is not about to introduce themselves right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go around and we're going to do our introductions, and because today is going to be a very interesting start, I'm going to give a very quick recap after everybody introduces themselves, and we're going to get right to the meat and potatoes of the issue. So, starting us off, Druid by Night. Can we get a quick introduction, please?
Hi. Yes, it's me, Druid by Night. Hi, I'm Luna. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the things, and today I will be playing Rosalind the Tremere.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Azure Butterfly, or Azure for short, or simply Rachel, Fae Butterfly on the internet, and today I am playing Jill the Gangrel.
Hi, I'm Huddy or Huddy von Schland on all of the social medias everywhere. And tonight I'm playing Sister Gisela von Heidenheim, the Malkavian.
Hello, I'm Az on most days. Today I will be playing Jack, the second half of our gangrel duo. You know, we're here to have a good time, not a long time, but hopefully it is a long time. You can find my social medias at As I Was, uh, because I think I'm funny, and we're gonna see how this goes.
We are going to see how this goes. So, to recap our last session, coming from disparate reaches of Transylvania itself, the now Coterie made their way to the city of Budapest. While moving through the city with their sires or their retinue or just each other. And in some cases, a chaperone, but we'll get to that point. They managed to converge in the lower city market square, where there were some human beings for sale. With the deft intervention of both Sister Gisela and Jack, a woman managed to be purchased from the auction by Sister Gisela. She introduced herself as Sharasina Basarab, a revenant ghoul of the House of Basarab. Being dismissed, the coterie left altogether to head up to the castle district, where there was to be a meeting with a benefactor, a patron, if you will. And going up that hill, there was a very interesting, well, second meeting for some of you, with a prophetic Cainite who went by the name of Havnor. He sicked a mob on the coterie. There was a chase scene through the alleyways of the upper city before our coterie reached the castle district, where they slipped in and evaded the mob. From there, they made their meeting with one of the princes of the 7 cities of Transylvania, a broodmate to our gangrel siblings, Mitru the Hunter, the Prince of Klausenberg. He offered them gainful employment, let's say, to travel to a place called Tayuta Pass and to build a fortress there, monitor it, and maybe, if they got the chance, look for some definitely not interesting to anyone other than him artifacts that have been rumored to be within the old, burnt-out foundation of the fortress there. He wanted at least the first fortress built by the winner, the first floor of the fortress, excuse me. And if the coterie found the artifacts in question, that they would notify him and he would send someone to come and pick them up. Now, with that being said, the offer of compensation was that there were 4 cities within the 7 cities that had no princes. And if these 4 young Cainites could prove their mettle and prove their loyalty to Mitru, then the princes of the Seven Cities were prepared to offer them the other 4 seats to solidify the political control and the political alliances of Transylvania. Being that their sires or benefactors had already accepted on their behalf, there was some brief interactions between sires, benefactors, and the Coterie before they all absconded, leaving the Coterie alone to speak. After that, and collecting Sherazina Bassaram, and meeting up with an old friend of our 2 Gangrel siblings, the Revenant Ghoul Armin Danislav. The Coterie began their way towards Tayuda Pass. And it was in the final bits of that episode that, nearly to the halfway mark and passing by the ruins of the old Volstadt Manor, a place that Jack and Jill know very well, the night sky lit up orange and yellow as flaming arrows exited from the tree line, arcing through the sky towards this caravan of Canaanites moving through the night. And that is where we will begin. And what I need to know from my lovely assembled Canaanites is this. As you see these arrows arcing through the sky, painting the night orange and yellow, we're going to go around person by person, and I want you to tell me where your mental state is at. What is your character thinking in this moment? What is driving you in this moment? And we'll start with we'll start with Jack.
The first thing, seeing those arrows, Jack immediately starts to think about the last time something like this happened. And his state of mind goes immediately to not again. The fact that we now have people that we are meant to protect comes to the forefront. He's still riding on one of the horses. He tries to stay out of the carriage as much as possible. So his first thing is, where is this coming from? And we need to take it out.
Right. You can tell, Jack, that the arrows are coming from what is most likely a well-placed ambush within the tree line. Just by the angle, it seems like this was definitely planned. Go ahead and go over to Sister Gisela.
So Sister Gisela is focused on survival. And as a person who believes that they have a divine reason for everything that happens to them, it's definitely going to use their abilities of obfuscation to, or at least the plan is to get out of the carriage and go in the opposite direction of where the arrows are coming from.
Gotcha. As you feel the shadows begin to cling to you, Gisela, for just a moment, that feeling sets in, that ethereal feeling that is a voice in your ear. We must find a place to hide, sister. It's up the hill, as a man.
And as she fades, she'll just say, "Tuish doch," and will attempt to leave the carriage.
All right. Rosalind.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Rosalind is seeing these arrows coming towards them. And imagine also in a carriage. And is just thinking, why? Why would I have been sent out, sent from home, sent from my studies, only to be faced with the sky full of arrows? What am I even supposed to do? And she's honestly kind of frustrated because she doesn't feel like she has any power in this situation to do anything except hide and wait.
Very quickly, why don't you give me a wits and subterfuge, Rosalind?
Ooh, okay.
This is the first roll of the session.
I can do that. Oh my god, I have 3 in subterfuge? When did that happen?
Great question. I would assume when you were making your character, but
Could have been. What's the difficulty?
I'm gonna let you pick. I'm gonna say you have a choice between 7 or 8. 7 is going to be more cursory level information. 8's gonna give you a little bit of a deeper cut.
Well, I'll go with 8. I have 4 successes with 1 10.
So 4 successes and 2 of them are technically a crit. Okay. Alright. In this moment, as you ask yourself the proverbial why, that proverbial why turns into how. Very quickly. The two are so intertwined after all, because if one understands the how, it gives deeper insight to the why, and vice versa.
Mhm.
The only people who knew you were coming here were the people in that room that you left only a few nights ago. Word doesn't travel very fast.
Especially not that fast. Okay.
Certainly not as fast as horses and carriages do.
I think that makes her way more frustrated and angry at this point.
And we'll go ahead and we'll pan over to Jill.
It's definitely Jill's mindset right now is not very different from Jack's. That was a very much shared experience of watching each other get riddled with arrows in the past. Their death, it's flashing in her mind's eye as she sees the new arrows come. And while Jack is on defense, all Jill can think to do is to attack. She's looking to see where they're coming from. She's pulling out her bow and arrow, and she's readying herself to retaliate immediately.
Now, a volley of arrows sits at a difficulty of 9. It's hard to hit specific targets with a volley of arrows. But I did get 110. So this is what occurs. First thing that I need from everyone is a straight up courage roll at a difficulty of 6.
Oh no, Jack.
Straight to giant
4 successes for Sister Gisela.
With 2 10s and a 2.
Love that. Love that.
I put it in the chat so no one thinks I'm lying.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Look at that. Oh yeah, no. No successes.
No successes.
Can I use willpower on this roll? Or no?
You may.
Okay. So
Rosalind?
glad we decided to buy willpower.
I was muted. 2.
2 successes. Okay.
Oh my gosh, let go of my hand. One success, and there is a 1 in this dice pool.
So a 1 takes your highest success away.
Oh yeah, so still 0.
Hey.
That's good. That's good to know.
That
Yeah.
is good to know.
It's terrifying to know.
No, it's great.
So, and if you have an additional 1 past that, it's even worse. Then it's a botch.
Yep.
And then we
so
get to do
you
really fun stuff.
just you go.
However, as these flaming arrows rain down, a few men and horses and carriages themselves get hit. Of course, the canvas for the carriages at this point is treated with oil. That's how it becomes waterproof. It's the nature of the time. So carriages quickly begin to conflagrate. Horses start dropping, people falling beneath their horses. And for Gisela, Rosalind, and Jill, for a very quick moment, you feel the clutch of the red fear, the Rot Shrek. It is primal, beyond reckoning. But you manage to steel yourself and find your own mind. Jack, I'll say this about the Rot Shrek. You can spend an additional willpower to complete 1 action around, other than what the Rot Shrek compels you to do. But you have to spend a willpower every round you want to do something before you acquiesce to the red fear.
So I will spend a willpower, and it's to make sure that the direction I run is going to be towards where we're guessing that ambush is coming from.
That is away from the fire, so I will definitely allow it.
That way, when the red fear takes hold, the thing in our path is a problem, not people who are supposed to be helping us, because we do need those workers, the ones who eventually won't make it out, or maybe they won't, we'll see.
So Jill, you see Jack leap from his horse and just begin to full-on sprint towards the tree line.
Oh shit. I automatically know what's going on with him, having seen this happen before, right?
I will say that's up to Jack, because there are certain things that happen to a kindred during the Rot Shrek. If you have the first dot of protein, those eyes of the beast, they will always activate. Fangs will descend. This is uncontrollable. Even bloody tears begin to elicit because of that fear.
Yeah, I would say that Jill would know that the beast is taking over, whether it be Roshek or just a frenzy of some sort. Because
Okay.
with Roshek,
Now-
is it kind of like a frenzy?
It's like a fox frenzy, but 1,000 times worse.
Okay, cool. So the thing's gonna happen again with the teeth?
Technically, no, because
Okay,
it is not a frenzy.
Okay.
It's the Roshek. They are distinctly different. So, as Jack takes off towards the woods, now we're going to do a wonderful initiative roll, where you're going to take a single d10, and you are going to add your wits and dexterity to the result. And celerity if you have it activated.
D10 plus wits and what?
Dexterity.
Which is the dexterity?
I rolled a 10.
There you go.
Wit.
Where was that a minute ago?
Right? so.
The-
So
I think so. Do we form a pool of it, or
Nope, you roll 1d10 and you add your dex and wits.
so
okay?
16.
That is also
9.
a 10.
Look at us.
10 plus
We're little murder machines.
18.
Okay.
11.
9.
All right. So, okay. So here's the breakdown of the round. It will go from Jill to Jack, and then Armin and the contingent of warriors and your laborers. And then it will go from Gisela to Rosalind to the ambush party, because the ambush party rolled a 1. And
Man, luck's on our side.
And that always means that you go last. If you roll a 1, you go last. So, with that being said, Jill,
Okay,
the floor, or the ground, is yours for the moment.
Seeing Jack fly off his horse and knowing the connotations to that, she's going to, because you said he's running right into the enemy ambush.
He is fully booking it towards the tree line, yes.
Jill is going to look back at the others for a moment and then charge on horse still after him, and attempting to basically, in her mind, with Jack in this state, she can't stop him. She can't pull him out of it, especially in this sort of moment. So she's going to help him. While he's thrashing the enemies physically, she's going to start sniping them from behind. That's her plan.
All right.
So if there's anybody...
As you ride towards the tree line, go ahead and give me a perception plus awareness.
Perception is 4. 2, 3,
Or rather, alertness.
4. And alertness is 2. Difficulty?
7.
3 successes.
As you ride closer, your eyes sort of scanning the tree line, you see some sparks and a few more arrows take light. it gives you a decent idea of where to go. Or if you just want to make a raw shot in the dark, that's fully an option to you as well.
I assume the difficulty for a raw shot in the dark is gonna be a little more difficult, huh?
I would settle on a difficulty of 9.
No, we're more stealthy, we're more precise than this. She's gonna attempt to get in closer.
Right. As you move in closer, the turn fades to Jack.
So, I'm not spending any more willpower just in case something worse happens. So,
Got it. So I get to tell you what you do.
Once he gets closer, he lets the beast take over.
As Jack just keeps making towards the tree line like a bat out of hell. There's nothing. You're effortlessly hurtling over bumps in the ground, furrows, and whatnot. You essentially break the cover of the wood line at the end of your turn. And as you break the cover of the wood line, in the haze of that red fear, in the haze of that, I have to get out of here, I have to run, I need you to make me another courage roll.
Okay.
Believe in
We're
you.
gonna use this die. I believe in you, dice. Remember, you are flammable. 1 success.
Okay. You manage to get a hold of yourself. As you look around and you see that there are about 4 tents. You see that there are a few campfires, but you're far enough away that you barely shaking it off. You're not fully gripping back into that yet. And you see, as you break the cover of the wood line, there are about 12 men within the cover. Some are wearing armor, some are not. This is your average mix of militiamen and a peasant levy. And as you break through the cover, fangs descended, eyes glowing red, blood dripping from your eyes. You see several of them drop their bows and grab for pitchforks or swords, spears, etc., etc. So, as that occurs, then it goes to Armin, the workers, and the warriors Armin brought with him. So the workers are going to immediately... They move to pretty much the whole crew of workers under the guidance of this sort of older, kind of gnarled looking worker who appears to be some sort of stonemason. He runs to the larder, the carriage that was hauling the food for the mortals, lifts out a barrel and takes his hammer and hits it on the top, and the top of the barrel comes off and it is full of salt. And they start grabbing handfuls of salt and throwing it onto the burning carriages. Gonna make just a pure luck roll. See how much of that it actually puts out. Oh, you guys are so lucky. That's 2 10s and a 9. So I'll say with 5 successes from 2 crits, yeah, they succinctly put out the flames rather quickly. It's kind of like jarring that worked so well. But you know, this is the way. And Armin quickly rides around, forms the warriors and knights that he brought with him up into a wedge on their horses as some of them pull the lances from their saddle sheaths. Armin pulling out his battle axe, and they are also going to break for the cover of the wood line. Now, with that being said, it is Sister Gisela.
So I'm mentally invisible, right?
Oh, yes, entirely.
Okay. I want to do something dumb. I want to sort of, I guess I wouldn't really have to skirt around, because I'm invisible, technically. I would like to head into where the ambushers are, and I'd like to sort of, if I can, pick out maybe one that's not in a cluster, and I'd like to slit his throat.
Perfect. All right.
Is that something I have a dagger. I put it on my sheet.
It'll take you the round to get to the tree line, but absolutely
it might be a moot point by then, but that's totally fine.
Into the darkness of the night, a shadow within a deeper umbral pool, Gisela makes her way into the tree line, where you do see that all the way out on the edge of the line of this ambush, there is one archer who was distinctly separate. So, from there, it passes to the lovely Rosalind.
Oh boy. So, carriage is on fire, yeah?
It is currently being put out by the work crews that are going to be working on your stronghold.
Uh-huh. And the tree line is within a running distance?
Oh, for sure.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I should probably get out so I don't catch on fire.
Good
If I
plan.
catch them. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I think I want to break for the tree line and just hide and wait it out.
All right. You're going to run for the tree line and try to hide. Perfect. As you spend your round getting to the tree line, go ahead and roll me a dex and stealth.
Okay, that's a respectable amount of dice.
We're going to say the difficulty is going to be 6.
Okay. Come on. Okay. I rolled 1 success, but it's a 10.
So that counts for 2.
Perfect.
All right. So you find a spot. You it's kind of like the hollow in the base of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of like back yourself into it for a moment. And it is the ambusher's turn. So I'm going to make a roll. Perfect. So here is what occurs. As everyone has broken the tree line at this point, there's going to be 2 warriors and a peasant that collapse on Jack. There are going to be 3 archers that, with their arrows relit, are going to fire again on the caravan. I need to roll a check to see if the one that Gisela is sneaking up on him is made aware. Because while the presence is unseen, noises can still be made. And then we'll get to the thing that I rolled for. So, Jack, you're going to be attacked with 2 pitchforks and a broadsword.
Okay.
Don't die.
So,
Well, we'll find out.
Oh
Don't die.
no.
okay. So that's pitchfork. The first pitchfork deals 1 level of lethal damage to you.
Okay. Does that
You
With
can
my
attempt
fortitude?
to soak that.
yeah, with my fortitude?
Have you activated your fortitude yet this fight?
I forgot to activate it. It doesn't just automatically apply.
No.
Never mind. Okay, so we're not soaking it. It's okay.
You can't. No, you can still soak lethal. But you just can only roll your stamina.
So stamina is 3 dice.
And the difficulty to soak is always 7.
Okay.
Good to know.
I rolled 1 9.
Okay, so you soak that 1 level of lethal damage. So what would have been a wound is a graze that does not even break skin. The next pitchfork.
That's my brother.
I miss your not cult.
Is also going to be 1 level of lethal damage. So if you would like to roll a soak against that as well.
I miss Jill's not cult. They stopped coming at us with forks and torches. I rolled an 8.
Yeah,
Okay, these
So you
2 dice
soak that one,
you
Nish?
have to go to dice jail because that was too close to 1. That was a 2 and a 3.
Please tell me you have an actual dice jail. Like a little...
Yeah. Stella's
Soak
holding
that
one of
one, and then the guy with the broadsword is going to attack next. With no successes. As the 2 pitchforks collide with your body, what would have skewered you 2 ways, Jack, the points bend against your skin. And you just kind of take a moment to assess as the guy with the broadsword like sees this happen and is just kind of like, and then you actually like still move, and then he's like, oh fuck.
Jack just like leans forward.
The 4 shooting arrows at the caravan. You know, there are times in a story where the dice just look at you and they just say, so I know you thought you were going to do something cool right now. With an overwhelming botch on their roll. Their arrows do not clear the tree line. And stick in the trees covered in torch, pitch, and fire.
Oh no, our forest is on fire.
It's surely about to be.
Well, now I have to leave again.
Oh, goody! More Rundschreck. So excited.
And then the one who was going to see if he could observe Sister Kiesel or not.
Totally.
Go ahead and roll me a Dex stealth with 2 dice bonus.
Gisela is like, do not perceive me.
Okay, and what is the difficulty on that?
It's a contested roll.
Okay, yeah. Well, Gisela didn't roll great. That is 2 successes altogether. That's 8. I have 8, a 7, 2 4s, a 5, and a 3.
Success is a success.
Okay. So,
Not when that's contested, it's not.
a contested roll such as this, so as it is, you do remain undetected as you move closer.
I'm ready to use dementation on anybody who comes near me.
I fucking love demonstration.
And what I
Yeah, wait,
rolled for
will
is
you
this.
use like dementation if they can't see you? If you can see their eyes but they can't see your eyes?
I don't know.
No, it still works.
Oh god.
Sweet.
Oh, that's horrifying to think about.
It's the most
Yeah.
terrifying of us all.
Remember that. This is a useful tool that we'll need to remember for later.
log that one away. Yes.
What you all hear is a deep as a horn blows, and you see all of you having broken the tree line now. You see about 12 other fires go up, and what you believe to be a small ambush party truly is a small army. Probably 50 to 60 combatants.
We can take him.
As the tarps that they were laying under that were covered in leaf ladder are thrown off, and they all begin to stand up, drawing weapons and moving towards you. I think all of you at some point, your sires told you about the dangers mortals still pose. That mobs are one of the great equalizers.
I have a question.
Sure.
This person who didn't see me for some reason, is still away, or are they now like in close proximity to a bunch of people?
No. They're still like the people that you guys initially engaged are still the front line,
Okay.
but it's now readily available information that they were the disposable front line. That
Okay.
their presence was meant to draw you into the forest where superior numbers could overwhelm you.
Sure.
Ah,
As a distraction, because I would like to get away now, but I would like to use the distraction purposes.
Sure.
How badly could I mess this man up mentally and send him running screaming into his horde of friends?
How bad do you want to?
I'd like to break him entirely.
Perfect. We'll get to that on your turn, because that sounds like a great plan.
Great,
love
good. You
Gisela.
give me time to look it up.
I love that plan, Gisela.
That sounds a lot like Demontation 1 Passion to me, but we'll see
I
where
think
you land.
incubus humor is what I want to use, but I'm not sure.
Oh my.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So, with that being said, and the truth of this battlefield alighting, boom, Jill.
Jesus Christ. I was preparing to fire an arrow, and then seeing all of this happen, the horn blaring and the army rising, she wants to fight. That part of her wants to fight, but she also knows that they probably cannot survive something like this. So I'm going to attempt to do something And please guide me through this, as I have never done this before. Having 2 dots in animalism, I would like to, and knowing the creatures of the forest that we are currently in, I would like to attempt to call wolves to our aid.
You attempt to call the wolves to your aid. All right. Okay. Let me go to my handy dandy discipline bookmarker.
Yeah, Noah's Call, I think it is.
Yes, you are going to roll a charisma and survival at a difficulty of 6.
You're still coming for that Nossa's brand.
Maruska is not going to be happy about this one, but we'll deal with it.
That one was a flub. That was 2 10s.
So a total of 4 successes,
Yes.
which is... Let's see. All such animals within earshot are summoned. Okay. So the distance is within earshot. So tell me how are you calling out to these animals, Jill?
Okay, so while I'm picturing that while she may not be able to like fully transform, she could probably mimic a call. So she is actually going to do a wolf cry, as loud as she can. And if Jack would probably hear that.
That is fair. So, as you enact Noah's Call, always with animalism, there's, sort of instinctually whether you have succeeded or not.
Mm-hmm.
You feel supported in this moment, Jill. You feel heard, acknowledged. Jack.
Upon seeing the army that is coming our direction, would the road itself be clear? If we started booking it through with the carriages?
You don't think so.
Okay.
You could try and turn the caravan around.
Okay. Well, it's gonna take the ambush a little bit to get there. So we're gonna take out as many in the vicinity as we can and try and get out of here.
Perfect.
So, activating Fortitude, which is 1 blood point.
1 point of blood.
Then doing the Wolf Claws with
2 points of blood.
Protean, and not calling a bunch of wolves because hearing that Jill has already done that. We're gonna the one with the broadsword.
Mm-hmm.
We're going for him. So it's
Yeah. That would be a strength plus brawl at a difficulty of, I believe, for the claws. I have a bookmarker for that. I just got to figure out which one it is.
Yeah, the wolf call is Jill's brand, except no substitutes.
remember this.
Come on.
So if we do 5 and 5, because humans are squishy, we could do 2 attacks.
The difficulty is 6.
Okay, difficulty 6. So can I split it between 2 of the 3 that attacked Jack?
You can split your dice pool.
Yes.
So how many dots do you have in strength and brawl?
Altogether for this attack, I have 10.
Perfect. So you can
So
split it
5 and
directly
5.
down the middle, but the minimum requirement for splitting your dice pool is having 2 dice in one.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could do 8 and 2, you could do 5 and 5. However you want to split your dice pool, the minimum requirement for splitting your dice pool and doing 2 actions is that there be 2 dice rolled on any action. And technically, you could split your dice pool 3 ways if you chose.
We're gonna do 5 and 5 because we're trying to scare the other ones and make them think it's not a good idea. So it's 3. Okay, 3 for the first guy.
So damage for him would be strength plus 2 plus 2. So your strength plus 4 is how many dice you would roll for damage.
Okay, so strength.
Also, to our audience, please forgive the clunkiness of how combat works in old Vampire. Like, V5 is so much better for combat.
It's not perfect either.
Oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes on the attack,
know.
and one of those was a 10.
It's
So
fantastic.
8 successes. Let me check his armor really quick. Because I also
This
have
is
that
what
page
Jack was built
bookmarked,
for.
baby.
This is why Jack and Jill work really well together.
They're monsters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're feral wood children.
Yeah. One is
All right.
very, very strong, and the other is very dexterous and stealthy.
It's
You
good.
said-
It's great.
8. 8 was your...
Yeah, 8 with a crit. I'm gonna roll this
Just
for the next
how much?
guy.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your next one. I just want to check how many hit points that one has, because his stat block is in here. So
4 on the other attack.
So that would be your strength plus 5 for damage. So the first hit, the first guy you claw into, drops to his knees. You shred this composite metal armor that he's wearing like it's butter. He's desperately trying to just not die immediately.
That's fair. He should just die immediately, though. Just it's the best option for him, really. Oh God. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 5. 5 successes on the other guy, with another crit. You get to stay. You stay on the.
Destroy him.
5 successes. And this is a peasant who has no armor.
Rough.
Hey, it's his fault
You
for
know
being
what?
there.
He shouldn't have joined this ambush.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely mauled. As you claw across him, he stops using his pitchfork in 2 hand and has to use 1 hand to hold his organs into his stomach. As he is obviously on the brink as well. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn, Jack?
Jack just turns with his red glowing eyes and his bloody hands and teeth on full display and screams.
Perfect.
Jill is so proud.
After Jack is the workers, Armin, and his knights. I'm just gonna make a quick pooled roll for the knights.
Come on, Armin.
So the tactic of the knights here, seeing that more fires are alighting deeper in the woods, is not to stop and combat the front line, but trample them in the process. As you see, 4 of the archers are just clawed underfoot, just absolutely hammered into the ground. As the knights break through the line that you have established, moving further in towards the lighting fires of the secondary line. Armin, that's hilarious. Gross. So Armin rides past you, Jill. In between you and Jack. And as he has his battle axe raised in the other hand, sort of pointing it towards the enemy line, he reaches his right hand out towards this knight that Jack clawed through that's kind of down on his knees. And an extension of bone comes out of the bottom side of his wrist, like the blades from Assassin's Creed, and pierces the back of his skull and rips his skull off and pulls it back into his hand as he raises the head in his other hand as he rides towards the enemy line.
Jill is taking a note.
Vicissitude. Can we get that on a t-shirt for this game? That would make it the turn of Sister Gisela.
Yes. So I would like to use Incubus Humor, please, because I have 9 dice for this roll.
Oh.
It looks like this.
Ooh.
But let me know if I can use it and stay obfuscated. I'd like to whisper it to him. And before I do it, I have another question. I'm sorry, I'm really complicated.
No, I'll say I'll let you remain obfuscated, but since the difficulty is the path of the victim's path rating?
Or willpower, if it's a person.
Right.
Yeah, willpower for mortals.
If you're gonna try and stay obfuscated, I will give them a 1 bonus.
That's fine. Cool.
Okay.
And so before I roll it, the second question is, am I in close proximity to Rosalind? Can I see her from where I am?
Yes. She's hiding, but it's strange in this moment that you're having you're about to use one of the powers of this keen insight, Gisela, that you have gotten from the blood. And in that moment of keen insight, you see, very briefly, you see over Jack's head, all the way across there. You see 2 stone hands with stone claws that are just ripping into themselves. Above Jill's head, you see the figure of a stark white wolf. And you don't initially see Rosalind, but you see over the top of this hollow of a tree, you see a jagged, bleeding iron crown set with bloodstones.
Goody.
And then in the light of that crown, you can see the glint of Rosalind's red hair.
This is me.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Gisela's gonna have to worry about that later. I'll throw that one away. Yes. So, can you tell me perhaps, like, should I roll? Should I do the talking to him first, or how should we do it?
Up to you. You
Okay,
tell
I guess
you.
I guess I will roll first, in case it's a really terrible roll. It is a really awful, terrible roll. What is the difficulty?
Difficulty 8 is what it says on here. Oh, no.
Yup.
No, the difficulty is their willpower because they're immortal. With a bonus of 1, because you're trying to remain obfuscated.
Oh, no, the difficulty
Still-
8 is to fix it.
Still only brings their willpower to 5. So 5 is the
Oh,
difficulty.
so it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, -1 for rolling a 1. So 8.
3 months. It lasts for 3 months.
Sucks for them.
What lasts for 3 months?
This
Incubus humor
Gisela,
lasts
tell
3
me
months.
what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing.
Right, so Gisela sort of maneuvers herself to be just right behind his ear, bear breath on his earlobe and just say, you fight so well, but do you not see that the monsters that soak this earth with blood are amongst your retinue? They are your friends, your colleagues, they hide in your armor, they hide behind their eyes. You must end them all. You must kill every single one until you are sure there's no more monsters, until they are all dead.
And you feel your light sapping out into him for a moment as he kind of gets a little rigid and then relaxes for a moment as you hear him mumbling to himself in Hungarian. The eyes, the monsters hide. And he pulls out a jagged looking, like serrated, like dinner knife. He says, I will free them from the monsters if I free them from their eyes. And he just turns around and runs towards the closest one. And he's gonna try and pull his eyes out with a serrated dinner knife.
Yummy.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Amen.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Okay. So he runs from you, Gisela, jumps on the back of another man, spins him around, and they kind of like tumble to the ground. And you see just. And as the blood sprays over his shoulder, that arterial flash, he just says, I will free you, brother. Don't worry. And takes the other one. As this man, screaming, crying, fades from life very quickly.
Gisela will watch the display impassively, cross herself and say, go with God from whom all blessings flow. And then we'll look for Rosalind.
As you make your way over to where Rosalind is hiding, Rosalind, you don't see anything, but it is your turn.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Would anyone have noticed that, or is there too much commotion
No,
going on?
Rosalind saw that whole exchange.
Okay, so Rosalind is just like, make a note. Just make a note.
I'll make a note.
So, since Luna doesn't know what to do, so forest is on fire, army's coming, road isn't safe, can I invoke my common sense merit?
Absolutely. You can always invoke your common sense merit. So, in the vein of my favorite merit from the old game. So, for our viewers, what the common sense merit does is it essentially lets you ask your storyteller, what do you think would be a good idea?
Yeah.
And we love that. We love that. It's so good. So, in that, as you invoke your common sense, well, you have some options here. The forest, if left unabated, is going to start to catch. It's been, this is the close to the end of the second round. And I do rule of 3 for combat. So I try and tie everything up in 3 rounds. So with that being said, you guys really have 1 round to resolve this. There's a lot of people left.
Or
But it also doesn't seem like a situation you can get yourself out of. So I'll say this for your common sense, Mayor. I will tell you the things that you know are happening.
mm-hmm.
You know Jill has called wolves. You know that there's now one of them turning against the others and succinctly, enucleating them. You know that there's a large, if not overwhelming, force approaching you. But you also know that there is the fortress up on the hill, the ruins, this burned out manor. I think what the best serving of my common sense merit would be to tell you that you should probably move,
Mm-hmm.
and it may be wise to get a better assessment of the situation now that you are deeper within the tree line.
So a higher vantage point, a better vantage point. What you're saying?
Perhaps.
How close is the ruins? Like within movement of 1 round?
Oh no,
I didn't think
it's
so.
about 1.5 miles up the
Yeah.
hill.
Okay. Cool.
But there is the road into the forest. You guys just broke the tree line. You didn't follow the road into the woods yet.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a clearer place for you to get a little bit better vantage point.
Right. Okay. Okay. So should probably move. Sister Gisela has approached me. I feel really bad about just piecing out.
You don't even see her.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't see me,
okay.
so
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. I don't feel bad about piecing out. Yeah, I'm gonna
John
stay.
Senator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay kind of hiding. I'm going to attempt to get a better view of the situation and see what's going on.
Go ahead and give me a perception and alertness. And since you got out onto the road before you make this, I'll give you a 2 dice advantage.
Oh, perfect. That actually really helps. What's the difficulty?
7.
Mm-hmm. That's so ass. I rolled a 10, but I also rolled a 1. And 2 6s. Wait, can I roll willpower?
Yeah.
Okay. That's how I can reroll up to 3 dice?
You can reroll any of your failures.
Oh my god, that's all of them except for 1. Okay. Never mind. So 1 success.
1 success. 1
Dice
success
roll.
is still enough to get you some information.
Okay.
As you make your way to the road, I'll say the first thing that confronts you is dread,
Mhm.
probably. As you see another armed retinue of soldiers. Not like whoever ambushed you here in the woods. I mean, noble banners, metal armor, knights, whole rigmarole. As a... To call them beautiful would be an understatement. This stunning man at the helm of this looks down to you. He has long, deep brown hair, impossibly warm brown eyes. He's wearing plate armor from the neck down. So he looks at you.
Oh, I'm not hiding anymore. Okay.
No, you're hiding,
Oh, okay. Oh,
but he looks directly at you
perfect. Great.
and then looks towards the forest. Says, lead the charge. And the knight on the horse next to him gives a nod as they begin to form their own wedge towards the wood line at the edge of the road. That brings it back to the peasants and the approaching army to the front line of where Jack, Jill, and Gisela are. So the army will approach. They won't get close enough to attack, but they are close enough that the next round they'll be on you. I'm going to make a courage check for the one that hasn't been mauled. That's a 1. He screams, shits his pants, and runs. That's a 2. So his buddy is like trying to follow him, holding his guts in his body. Still nobody hears any sounds from Gisela. That's great. And the guy's gonna try. The guy that is Incubus Passion is going to try and enucleate one of his friends. Why did you have to pick the one rolling all the successes, honey? Why? Why do you do this? Why?
Because I'm actually a Malkavian.
Oh god. This is so bad. Disgusting. Disgusting. 2 10s, 2 8s, 2 9s. As he hops on another guy and just pops his eyes out. I will free you from the monster, brother.
Look. Gisela is an invisible Delulu nun in the woods who thinks she's doing everything for God, okay? This is totally how she expected it to work.
Oh my god.
Can we get that on the t-shirt, please? Invisible Delulu Nun.
That's so terrifying.
It's so good, though.
We
Yeah,
love
no,
Gisela.
I'm so glad you're on our side. For
And-
now.
Drawing that to a close. Beginning the 3rd round. I need to roll another party into the initiative. Okay. So, Jill, you're still up first.
Okay, seeing all the craziness that's happening, thanks to so she's seeing this one peasant like completely gouging out the eyes of another, right?
Yes. But I will also tell you that what you see, as you see those 2 peasants run from Jack,
Mm-hmm.
see them stop in their tracks as about 13 wolves begin to move their way forward.
Jill just grins wide. She's going to they shouldn't have stopped. She's going to take her bow and notch an arrow and take aim at one of the ones that just stopped to try to at the side of the wolves.
Yep, go ahead and give me a dex and archery. And we're gonna say that because they are a non-moving target, and they are within the range of your bow, we're gonna call the difficulty 5.
So that's 5 regular successes, and I also rolled 2 10s. So that's 9 successes.
So you are going to roll 11 dice for damage against a difficulty of 6.
Eight, 9, 10, 11, difficulty 6. Six.
Are you going for the one that Jack has already split open, or the one who hasn't been hit yet?
Let's go for the one that Jack already split open. Let's finish him off. The weakest one of the pack.
Yeah. It's an arrow through the back of the head. Thunk! As he falls to the forest floor. And the wolves are going to pounce on the other one. Make a pack hunting roll. Why do you guys keep getting the... Stop making friends that do well. I want to hurt you guys.
Never.
Hey, there's a reason Jill got that stole that nickname.
Yeah, so the wolves fall on the other guy and just absolutely tear him to pieces. Nothing left.
Ooh.
Such good boys.
Wonderful. All right. That's Jill's turn. That would make it Jack's turn.
All right, so seeing the impending army after having taken out the immediate threat, and that the wolves have shown up, Jack's gonna turn and probably only sees Jill because Gisla's still obfuscated, and just start shaking his head. We can't. And then start booking it back towards where the carriage is. To go
Okay.
get Gisela and Rosalind.
Can I?
As you run back towards the carriages, breaking the tree line. And you don't get quite to the carriages, but you can at least see down the road from the vantage point that you're at now. And you do see this second contingent of warriors amassing on the road, getting ready to ride in. I'm not even going to have you roll for, like, recognizing banners or anything. Love you, not going to happen. I know your sheet. So,
Those are some pretty flags.
yeah. Yeah, they are. So, that would bring up Armin and his knights and the crew. Armin's knights are going to attempt to break the line. Barely. They lose a few in the process, but they do manage to break the line. And Armin, as Armin rides into sort of the center of the amassed, that skull that he has in his hands, he drops and he pulls from his belt a torch and sparks it against the edge of his battle axe. And as it begins to burn a deep, baleful green, that will be the end of Armin's turn. Wunderbar.
I love Armin.
Then it would be Sister Gisela.
Yes. Well, unfortunately for everyone, Sister Gisela's long-term plans involve Rosalind based on what Marius said, so she needs her around, so she's gonna have to follow her to get her to come back with her to the carriage. So that is what she's doing. She's not happy about it.
As you make your way out onto the road, obfuscated, I will let you roll a intelligence and What do I want to make this?
Gisela may have been a noble, but she was more into the vibes of God. She's not that smart.
The god vibes.
I'll let you pick between 3 abilities.
Okay.
You can either use etiquette, academics, or occult.
Okay. Well, that's 3 dice, no matter what I pick. I rolled a 4, a 10, and an 8.
The difficulty was 8, so that's 3 successes. So now I need to know, would you like that to have been in etiquette,
Etiquette.
academics, or occult?
Let's do etiquette.
So, this is what you notice as you emerge obfuscated. Is that there is this large band of armored knights that are forming up to charge into the forest. But you recognize the banner.
Mhm.
It is the banner of the House of Vikos. They are a noble family that came to Transylvania from Constantinople a long time ago. Their name would have come up in your research into the Voivodate.
Okay. Okay. Sister Gisela would like to how smart is she in aware that they are the ones who organize this army, or they are protecting their land? Is she smart enough to understand the difference between the two?
Ooh, I'll call that a wits and empathy roll. At a difficulty of 7.
That's 7 dice for me. That's not terrible. 5, 6, 7. Difficulty of 7. I rolled a 10, an 8, a 7, and a 7. 4 and a 4 and a 2.
I would say with that amount of successes, Gisela, you know this is neither. These lands are under the protection of Mitru of Klausenberg, your benefactor. The lands of House Vikos are deep within the Carpathians. But they are also not here for you. As you see that green torch light,
Yep. I was worried about that.
the House Vikos retinue rides in.
Okay. Well, that's all good information to have. I think Gisela would probably assume that this is another a topic that she's not super fond of because it messes with all the stuff already going on in her head, the Revenant families all over Hungary. Gisela's focus, she's obfuscated unless he's seen her, is looking for Rosalind, is trying to get to her.
Go ahead and give me a wits and alert, or a perception and alertness for Rosalind to try and find her.
Oh, I have to find alertness. Oh. That's 7 dice again, so or excuse me, that's 6. What is the difficulty?
6.
Yeah, I didn't hide that well.
Successes.
And Rosalind got 2 successes to hide. So you do see her.
Okay.
You also see that you see her by following this one knight who stayed behind.
Mhm.
You followed his eye line directly to her.
Yep. Gisela's gonna go behind the nearest tree, and then she's gonna come out unobfuscated. And she's going to say, "My dear Rosalind, you shouldn't have run away from the carriage. We must flee. We seem to have been caught in some sort of land issue. We must get to the convent, my dear."
I think Rosalind would jump.
And with that, it is Rosalind's turn.
Yeah, so Rosalind would jump at that. Oh my goodness, where did you come from? Okay, yeah, that was my next plan, actually. So what, you're wanting to go back to the carriages then?
It's just she'll look up at the man. Apologies, we were besieged. I am escorting this one to the nearest convent, and I'm sure Gisela would know a convent in Hungary nearby. And she will rattle that
Honestly,
off.
your convent in Bucharest is not super far. It's
Then she
like a
would,
2 days ride south of here.
Yup, then that's what she would say. And she said, I'm escorting her to the Mother Superior. Unless you would perhaps...
Give me a charisma and subterfuge.
No. Can it be
Can I
manipulation?
help? Somehow.
You can give the quote-unquote help action if you would like to give Gisela a 2 dice bonus and
Yes.
aid her in her subterfuge.
Can I do manipulation instead of charisma? Does it have to be charisma?
It is a lie. Yes. So, sure, yeah. I'll say you can use manipulation. Yeah.
And I'm helping by going along with it real well.
And that is two dice to help?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Willpower?
There was 8 dice and nothing. Well, yes,
Oh.
willpower. Willpower is something I can do, and I get to do what with willpower?
You get to reroll any failures.
Okay, well, all 6 of mine are failures.
Then you get to reroll 6 dice.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
And I mark that off, yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
Still on 6 dice. No, I'm sorry. A 10 and an 8. Is that 3 successes?
That is 3 successes.
That's 3 successes.
Well, it's something.
You got one more,
My
right?
God.
So
My God. I couldn't roll good forever, obviously.
this noble looks down from his horse and he says, "You have no reason to lie to me. I know who you are, Gisela. I was sent here to look for a contingent of travelers. I believe we have something to discuss, but until my knights have cleaned up this unbefitting business to you, I think the conversation may need to wait."
Ja,
And
selbstverständlich.
he slides down off his horse and moves over to you. He says, and he kneels in front of you and plants the point of his sword in the ground, slices his palm on the edge of the sword. He says, "You have my oath that no harm will befall you while you are in my company. I swear this on my name, Mika of the House of Vikos."
He's doing that in front of Rosalind?
In front of both of you.
And Gisela will look to Rosalind and then look back at him.
Rosalind would look to Gisela and then back at him. Just like,
Mein Herr, you could escort us out of these lands. We have 2 more that we must collect. We would be most grateful. With no blood oaths are required, but it is appreciated.
I often find that requirements... It is such a tedious thing. Oaths freely given are the only oaths that matter. Please, let me escort you back to your caravan, and my men will finish this business, and then we will all talk. Huh? And he offers to help both of you up onto his horse while he walks alongside to get you back to the carriage.
Gisela takes him up on that offer. Walking
Yep,
hurts.
sure.
So at the end of the 3rd round, Jack, as you see Gisela and Rosalind emerging from the road in the forest on an armored horse with an armored knight beside them, Jill being the only one within the forest to see what happens next. Jill, as you think they're about to collapse in on Armin and his knights, you hear as coming out of the woods at multiple angles, you see these flesh sculpted creatures towering, some taller than the trees of the forest. Their fists are literally just 50 skulls that have been plated with iron melded together as they just... One swing takes out 13, 14 men. Bodies immediately start flinging. There are some that they're just blades of bones sticking out at preternatural angles, and their only focus in battle, these tiny little things with all these wicked sharp blades, is that they just jump on people's necks, hug them, and shake. Just lacerating, blood viscously flowing. They look like little bladed imps. There are others that have these elongated limbs that just have these wickedly long, almost tentacle-like fingers that come out of their palms, and as they lash out, you see that the tips of their fingers have fanged mouths like lampreys as they just bite in and pull people together and smash them together with preternatural strength. You thought you had seen monsters, and now there is this.
Jill, her expression is exactly as my expression is right now. Fucking wide-eyed, horrified at what she's seeing. I have no inclination at what this could be, right?
Arnulf told you about the things that the dragons are capable of.
Yeah, okay. Fuck this. Still on horseback, she's going to rear her horse back, try to make if possible, try to make a call to the wolves to follow her so that they could protect the caravan.
Oh, they saw the Shalakta and they booked it back into the woods. They were like, we came, you called, we came, we did not agree to fight monsters. And they absolutely booked it.
You know what? I can't blame them. I'm doing the same. I'm riding back towards the caravan at high speed. And do I see Jack at all?
You see Jack, you see Rosalind, you see Gisela, you see this armored knight. And with the sounds of that battle being resolved in the background, the clicking of the monstrous Schlachta, the sound of blows from these titans that are shaking the ground, the sounds of bloodshed and screaming and death. We'll go ahead and take our break. And we'll catch you back on the quick. Back to the story at hand. So as you all arrive back at this series of previously burning caravans, the sounds of the battle quieting behind you as this unearthly beautiful man walks beside this horse that Rosalind and Gisela are upon. As you all convene, he looks over the coterie. Says, I believe you are the ones that I am seeking. Please, rest now. All things are as they should be.
Jill's gonna.
Looks at Gisela and Rosalind. Are you alright?
Never.
All things considered, yeah, I feel quite well.
Were those your creatures that were fighting the others?
Like creatures. I consider them more of my children, but yes.
Understood, as though those were some of the most frightening things I have ever seen.
Fatherhood can be quite frightening.
Did anybody else see those?
I don't know what you're talking about, Jill. Is that what that noise was?
She's going to. I'm not going to be able to do it as much justice, but Jill is going to go into as much detail as she can in explaining what she saw to all of you.
Gisela probably couldn't hide a look of... Maybe disgust is too strong of a word, but that's the word I'm going to go with.
And
Think
Mika
Rosalind would
clocks
be
that,
fine.
and he says, allow me to assure you, I use the gifts that I am given. I take no pleasure in this. But these lands, as you all well know, as all of you are Transylvanian Canaanites, this land that we live in is brutal. And it is often required to meet brutality with superior brutality.
Here,
So you're
here.
one of the dragons then.
I am of the clan Smith.
Sorry, Rosalind, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just here, agreeing.
And you must be this Rosalind of Clan Tremere I have heard so much about.
Ah.
Let me assure
Pleasure.
you, I do not share the same distaste that many of my clanmates have for your people. You did what you must. You seized power when it was open to you.
Jill is mentally taking notes hearing all of this.
We
It
do what we
is
must.
it is in our nature, is it not? To seize power.
Absolutely.
And at that point, the stonemason walks up. And Mika raises his brow. He says, I did not think that I would see you here, old friend. The stonemason says, all things considered, I had not expected to see you here either, Mika. They nod to each other. He says, well, perhaps it is good that you are here, Zelios. It has been some time. And the stonemason nods. was hired. My services procured to make sure that the coming project does not succumb to the fate of previous projects in the region. And Mika looks you all over. He says, please, allow me to bring my carriages out from the woods. I have fresh clothing. We can get you cleaned up and then we can talk.
Sure.
As his knights begin to emerge from the forest, absent the Schlachta, as they wave forward the caravan and 2 more covered wagons approach yours. And you're given a little bit of time that you can freshen up, change your clothes. The clothes that Mika is offering are the fit of noble folk.
Jill would look at it and then no, she's not going to.
Rosalind will.
Who are we going to meet? Who are we going to meet?
You see that Mika is amongst a few of his knights, engaging them in conversation. You could surmise that he's getting the updates on the particulars of what happened on the field of battle proper.
Jack's gonna at least clean the blood off of his hands and face.
Jill was luckily not really covered in anything new, at least.
Jack was elbow deep in 2 people, like, it's gross.
You know, like you do.
You do see Armin rides out with those knights of his that are left and meets with Mika, and the 2 exchange greetings and shake each other's hands and are having words.
Heightened senses?
Sure, yeah.
So, acute
Gisela is
senses-
primarily concerned, not with getting changed, whatever. Gisela's primarily concerned, how did they know we were coming? Why wouldn't their brother, whose name I can't remember, Mistru?
Yeah, Mitru.
Mitru, why wouldn't Mitru have told us that a retinue would meet us? Did he? And I don't remember. So Gisela's going to use heightened senses.
From what I remember,
As
he did
you
not.
as you raise your senses, you hear Armin say, I was very sure we were going to need aid in this area. If I were setting up an ambush, I would have set it up here as well. I am grateful that you responded to my call, old friend. It's been too long. And you hear Mika say, it is only in solidarity. You are a member of the family. And I concurred with your reasoning. It only made sense that Mitru would attempt to assassinate his broodmates where he believes they should have died. It only makes sense. To embarrass their sires and to make good on his threats to the great wolf Arnold. It only made sense. And you know me, Armin. When there is logic, I will always come. This was Good of you. I don't know what connection you have to them, but you didn't have to reach out. You could have turned your knights and rode away. Armin nods, says, I would not have them die against foes that are beneath them. Those two. I have claimed their lives already. It is just choosing the battlefield. And they will be met with honor. They are deserving of that. Mika nods. As you say, I mean, you will tell Rebecca what I have done here. Armin nods. I will. And this favor that you have done to me will be repaid by Rebecca and Kai. It is not something you should worry about. And that's where the conversation between the two of them trails off.
I love Armin.
As Jack is cleaning themselves up, Gisela will just go over to them and say, should you have an opportunity to speak with the knight, Herr Danislav Glauber, Armin Danislav, you should thank him.
Armin.
Apparently he saved our lives. You should also make plans to eliminate your broodmate at some point in the future. We have a very long time in which to plan it. He did this. He set up this ambush.
Alright, that narrows it down to 3 of them. Though, you mean me through.
Yes?
Artie wouldn't. Okay.
I mean the prince. I do not like being pawn in anyone's game, but my gods.
I don't like being a pawn in anyone's game. Ever. Thank you. Gisela, are you sure you're alright? I'm not
I'm-
sure, but your face says many things.
It says less things than what my head says.
And as
Rosalind
you've all
is all right, so that's good. We are all here. Praise God.
As you all refresh yourselves, Mika and Armin ride over. And the decision has been made to repair wagons during the day and set up some canvas tents here and camp in this field on the edge of the forest. And as Mika's tent, this huge 9-poled tent that's takes up the room of a small house, is erected, he offers to host all of you. As you enter, there are censers with smoke burning from them. You see that there, Gisela, you immediately notice there are several pieces of reliquary from the Byzantine side of the church. There are crosses in the Byzantine style. You see, sitting on a pillow on the ground, there's a Bible. Mika waves you and he says, please sit. I will have refreshments brought shortly.
And Gisela will, with all the deference that she remembers from when she was alive.
And he nods. He says, "Your habits, sister. You are of the Cistercian order." Huh?
That is correct.
I hear they are even allowing your monks to laugh now. Is this the truth?
Not loudly. Under the breath is okay.
With the humility befitting of a man of God.
Are you such a man, mein gnädiger Herr?
I have been.
Have you been to the Byzantine, the Constantinople? Have you been to the Hagia Sophia?
It was where I received the rite of baptism.
It must be beautiful.
Words cannot describe. You should come.
Perhaps you will indulge me one night and attempt to try.
When there is not business to be had, of course. Who am I to deny the keen and absorbing mind of a sister?
Show me far more respect than I deserve.
And you deserve far more respect than you believe.
She will just make a polite gesture of waving away the compliment.
And he looks over all of you. You two, you are a gangrel, no?
Yes.
Two even.
You are these children of Arnulf.
Yes.
Well, your brother Mitru the Hunter tried to assassinate you. And I have proof.
Ah,
And he looks up to one of the guards and waves, and you see that there is another Cainite dragged in. The fangs have been bashed out of his mouth. And there's a stake of wood that has been driven through the two of his wrists to hold his hands together. As they bring him in. Just tell them what you told us. He looks up, and the two of you recognize this kindred. It's one of Mitru's children.
Hello, nephew.
Jill says nothing. She's just staring at him.
Just looks up. Mitru sent me with the army to embarrass Arnulf.
Why?
The other two were not a priority, but it would be appreciated if they were extinguished.
Why send us out? Why have us do anything for him if only to kill us? Does he have no respect?
To embarrass your sire.
Jack's gonna get up and kind of getting close to him and just look him over. And insight check. I would like to vibe check my nephew.
Yeah, wits and empathy, please.
Can I assist by reading his soul? Just a weird sentence to say.
Sure, yeah, no, go for it.
I'm glad you did that first, by the way, because what I was about to do next was not as kind.
Jack's got a calm heart, even if it's a little lost at times. I don't know where that dice went. All right.
This is a really good roll.
Oh
for me.
God, that's 2 crits.
Oh shit.
So, damn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And okay, those are all 5s. So yeah, 5 successes.
I think the keenest piece of your insight, Jack, comes from, you know, a fellow follower of the Path of the Beast when you see them. There's no point in obscuring information once you've been defeated. He knows that he's not leaving this tent. And to be quite honest, his distaste for Mithril isn't unnoted.
At that point, Jill stands up, moves swiftly next to Jack, right up on this person. Finally able to stare down at somebody since they're on their knees.
You know his name is Hazag.
Jill's not going to dignify his name.
Jack is.
Jack.
And Gisela is scrying his soul.
Yeah, how many successes did you get, Gisela?
4.
Obviously, his aura is pale. It's also his aura keeps flickering. It is orange one moment and a deep resplendent gold in the next.
Okay. That would leave Gisela extraordinarily confused.
Jack, knowing Jill, you can see what she's doing right next to you. I'm gonna activate my protean, and my fingers are elongating into claws.
Was there any other information you have, Hazag?
If you are going to end it, I only have one request.
It is not your fault that your sire is who he is. It's unfortunate that you are a pawn in his game. Your death will be quick. What is your
I would at least like to hold a weapon when I die.
Jill's not gonna say no to that. That's on you, Jack, though. She's just gonna look at you.
Alright.
Gisela's gonna very weirdly, totally out of pocket and not her business, but she's going to say, "Are you afraid to die?" Hatzag, was it?
Hazog,
Hazog.
I am afraid that I would be unworthy to meet my gods, sister. That is all. I fear not death. I fear the judgment that comes after. You also have a gatekeeper, do you not? This Saint Peter.
I will not be meeting Saint Peter, but yes. I have this strange feeling that you are having bouts of pleasure in this moment. Why? I thought perhaps that you thought yourself a martyr.
No. No, I am no martyr, sister. We don't have such things.
And what is it?
Finally, others are beginning to see my sire for what he is. A beast. Make no mistake. but the serpent, he is no true hunter. He does not take his prey by the neck. He poisons them with falsehoods until they are so weak they have no way to live other than to die. Truth brings me pleasure, sister.
Question.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm the worst. Kick me out of the Chronicle. I have a question. Could I use I can't keep these together. Could I use soul haunting on him, but in a positive way before he dies?
Let me take a look at that ability really quick.
These urges manifest as visions, sense, sounds of divinity revealing themselves in the most mundane of places. I'd like to not show him demons, but I'd like to show him something nice. I assume he's
Since you have scried his soul,
Muslim. Yeah.
and you got 4 successes on that,
Yes.
and you have the prophetic visions. You don't see within him the spark of Islam. You've seen
Okay.
that. You see 2 men, one standing over each shoulder. You see a man, beautiful, his hair of silver, shining blue eyes, cloaked in white, and an old man with a bloody hammer that drips blood.
Is this some pagan religion that Kisela might not actually know?
You've had enough converts in your convent to know you know the visions of who you see. The black one, Chernabog, and his brother Beelabog. This man follows the ways of the Slavs. Havnor being among those gods as well.
I thought so. Would I know of some sort of, since I don't actually have any IRL knowledge of Slavic tradition, would I know of some sort of peaceful Avalon-esque thing?
The halls of Beelabog. It's the afterlife. It's the good version of their afterlife, not just to
Okay.
have your head smashed by Chernabog.
Okay. So while Jack and Jill put a weapon in his hand or not, or interrogate him more or not, or chop off his head or not, Gisela will just bend down and start whispering in his ear, talking to him, because it takes a while to do it, talking to him about all the nice things about, was it Beelabog?
Mm-hmm.
That he's worthy to go there, will be welcomed as a hero. Something to that effect.
Can Jack, with his acute sense of hearing, hear what
Sure.
Gisela's saying? We're gonna give him a hammer and the stake and take him out of the tent.
Yep. Jill's following. Her claw's still out.
I actually get to spend a blood point. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so in true
before-
Jack and Jill fashion, we're pack dynamics, one on one side.
Before anything, Jill is going to whisper something to Jack.
So, yeah, Jack's going to be. Thank you, Mika. Also, is Armin in the tent?
Yes.
I appreciate what you did, Armin. Thank you.
I told you your lives cannot be claimed until it is I who claims them. I intend to make good on that promise.
One day. We'll see how that all plays out. Jack will nod. Micah, do you perhaps have a hammer?
At that point, Zelios takes his stone masonry hammer. And Zelios has dropped his obfuscate, his mask of 1,000 faces at this point, and you see that Zelios is his stature isn't warped, but he certainly has the face of a Nosferatu. His lip hairs up, and you can see his teeth. His skin is stony and covered in these wart-like protrusions that look like just stones hanging off of him. He says, "I believe this will suit the occasion."
It will. We'll be back in a moment. Come with you. Jack's gonna step outside first, see who all's in the area, and if there's anybody around the tent.
There's a few guards outside, but
they're Micah's guards?
yeah.
Okay, that doesn't matter then. And Jack is going to remove the stake from his hands. Put it in one hand, put the hammer in the other, and take a step back.
Jill's moving up right next to Jack.
He looks up at the night sky.
Oh damn, 8 successes!
Yeah, Gisela would still be there this whole time. I got 8 successes with a difficulty of 8.
He is in that malaise of spiritual fervor that you've seen from priests and brothers and sisters. He's fully engrossed in this vision that you have put before him.
She'll just
As he grips the hammer in both of his hands.
May you walk into the dark with your head held high, nephew.
And at that, Jill lunges.
I'm not going to make you roll. He's not going to resist you. How do you dispatch him, Jill?
She's going to go for the gut initially, attempting to get him down, and then pulling him down, attempting to get him onto his knees. And then she is going to spider monkey onto his back, grip him by his hairs, and then she's going to whisper into his ears, "Don't worry, you'll be able to fight your sire in another way." And she's going to pull out her fangs and sink her teeth into his neck, and she's going to drain him completely.
You are committing the diablerie, then.
Mm-hmm.
I need a willpower roll from you immediately. As we have entered the battle for souls.
Is Gisela still there?
Goody. Yes.
Like Rosalind's just looking on, backed up.
There's
Yeah,
going to be a
support.
conversation that Mika is having with Rosalind in just a moment while all of this occurred.
Perfect.
Yeah, because he was taken away from sort of where Mika's having court.
Yes. Jack is trying to be more proper just because of the Coterie mates. Gisela seems like she doesn't like it when things are dirty, and there would be ash everywhere.
Yeah, so that's 2 10s and another success, so 5 successes.
Okay. We'll get to that in a moment, but Rosalind's having a conversation. As your coterie leaves the tent, Rosalind, Mika looks over to you. I hope you realize that it will be an extreme mark upon my reputation to not take you captive.
Yeah. I appreciate not being taken captive.
Oh, let me be clear. I have not decided yet. I'm willing to hear you. You travel in the company of folk known to me. Zelios, what do you believe would be wise? And says, I would not trifle. There are opportunities, yeah. Better opportunities than the taking of a captive. Mika, you've always shown wisdom in the face of difficulty. I could not believe it to me more unwise than to act with aggression in this situation. Mika nods. So speak for yourself, usurper.
Simply on a mission. I'm not trying to impede on anybody's land or ways. Not trying to usurp anymore, as it were.
In truth, I have always found your kind, those of you who were not complicit. Were you complicit in the diablerie of Salat? He was a friend to Lothric, and I would have an answer.
I wasn't even embraced then. I wasn't there.
Then the decision is made. I have no quarrel with you. And seeing as your friends are indisposed, I would like to make you a business offer.
Dinner?
I am headed to the city of Bistritz to meet with a clanmate of mine, who is the prince there, Radu. It is near where I am under the assumption from Armin that you're traveling to. Bistritz is the next closest city to the Pass of Tayuta. I am willing to pledge my men to the oath that I made to yourself and to Gisela until we reach the city of Bistritz. My name is known throughout these lands, though I am no Transylvanian myself. Your cavalade, as it would be, will be untouchable. Any who try will find that there are ramifications which go beyond the borders of Transylvania, and any Cainite worth their weight will know that this is not worth the effort. As my dear brother is the Prince of Constantinople. You will be untouchable. No one will bother this cavalade. Insofar as I will even pledge half of my guard to remain with you at Tayuta.
How generous.
I will cede the coin necessary to make sure that the feeding and maintenance of them is not a burden. For no other reason than seeing the skullduggery that Mitru has produced here, I wish to see him embarrassed in return. He has been a thorn in my side traveling through Transylvania too many times. And it is only right that he be put in his fucking place.
I think that can be arranged, given my company.
Oh no, I'm not. Please forgive me. I'm not making this deal with your coterie. I'm making this deal with you.
Interesting.
I think there is a great bridge to be gapped between our clans, no?
I agree.
I do not see why it cannot begin here, in this sleepy little field.
I agree with that as well. I think I would take great pleasure in holding up my end of this deal.
Is that the only thing you would take great pleasure in, Rosalind?
Just smile. Narrow her eyes a little bit.
You know I can change this body to be whatever it is you take pleasure in, no?
Oh, is that so?
All I would need is a list. Tell me what you like.
Let me think about it.
It would be improper of me to imposition a woman. And a woman of such bearing. We will continue this discussion at a later date. And the camera will pan out. With 5 successes, Jill. As you drink, and you drink, and you feel his form begin to disincorporate, begin to become ash in your mouth. You've never done this, Jill. You don't know what happens next. But what happens is the onrush of memories of this man's entire life. You see Hazog born, crying into the world things he didn't even remember about himself. You see him grow. You see his mother, his father, loving, caring, many siblings. Poor as they come. See him as an adult on his way into Klausenberg, where he was waylaid by Mitru. You see what could be the most brutal feeding you have ever seen in your life. Mitru cracked his bones to suck the marrow. Before, in this horribly broken state, that the true mark of a beast is if it can accept a collar, and embraced him. You see a few decades of work, cleaning up threats, taking out emissaries on the road. You see many attacks just like this that succeeded. Before you see Armin hop off his horse, and with the back end of his axe just across the jaw, spitting his teeth, before the stake was driven through his arms as he was dragged all the way to this tent. Unfortunately for you, Jill, he also got 5 successes. Now, meets does beats as you are the aggressor. But with no true margin of success, You're both here. As Hazog, that consciousness, that soul alights within you. What have you... What? The halls of Beelzebub, they were there, they were in front of me. And you, both of you, Gisela and Jack, you hear Jill saying this.
Yeah, the whole time Jack was looking at Gisela, not looking at Jill, and when she starts talking, Jack's head whips around.
It was right there, we were so close there.
And Gisela will say, It took me light. I did not know we were going to be consumed.
Jill.
And Jill turns to look at the both of you. This is not... I didn't... And Jill, you come to having... You're turned around and you're facing Gisela and Jack with a hand on your temple.
What did you do?
Gave him another chance.
What did you do, Jill?
Gave me another... No. No. This isn't... What have we... What are we... I need you to make another willpower check.
Shit. I dropped a dice.
Jack slowly maneuvering himself between Gisela and Jill.
3 successes.
I'm going to have to send you something between sessions. But Jill is no longer the dominant soul within Jill's body, as Hazog got 4 successes.
Can Gisela see that Jill is not the one behind the I don't know, horse? Or in the old Dark
It's
Ages?
hard to tell.
Okay. Well, then Gisela's going to address this to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
It was not enough that your sibling was being hunted by your father or their father, but now they are sharing their body with another soul.
What does that mean?
It means that, well, it means that there's a possibility that you will lose Jill. Eventually.
No.
Or perhaps they will go together in perpetuity. Perhaps, what was his name? Hatzog. Perhaps he will fade away. Perhaps Jill will
My
fade away.
name is Hazog.
Yes. Thank you.
No, you're Jill. You're like...
I am Hazog.
Jack is gonna come up to what should be Jill and grab her face. Jill, snap out of it. You can't leave me.
She is still here. And Jill, it's strange to be in your body but not behind the wheel. But you are there. Every now and again you'll feel twitch of a finger. But at least for the duration of tonight, Hazog has the wheel.
Gisela looks very indifferent about it. Just perhaps a lesson. In all things in life, there are lessons. Through pain and sorrow, it's how God teaches us his greatest lesson. And she will return to Rosalind and Miko.
Hazog, behind Jill's eyes, looks to you. I need time.
Going to fix this.
And Hazog within Jill's body absconds to one of the carriages.
Jack just watches and stands there, completely lost. And then, knowing that even though it was a song, that it was Jill's voice saying that she needed a minute, wanders back into the tent.
Miko looks up as the two of you re-enter. The villain is dealt with then.
In a matter of speaking, yeah.
Very well. I have struck a deal with Lady Rosalind here, and I will be accompanying you as far as Bistritz.
The gateway before Tauta Pass.
Indeed.
Tisha.
I am on an errand to visit a clanmate of mine there, who is the Prince Radu.
Wunderbar.
In addition, I will be sending some of my knights to ensure the safety of your operation in Tauta Pass.
No more flaming arrows, then.
That is my hope, sister.
Hope does spring eternal. Gisela sort of, it's a little disassociating and sort of wandering the area.
Very
Not
well.
really making eye contact.
Jack is staring at Rosalind, thinking about all the things he's heard about the Tremere.
Very well. Would you care to meet with Radu? Or would you prefer to continue your journey to Teuta unabated?
I think our journey has proven that being unallied is a dangerous place to be in Transylvania. I would be more than happy to meet the prince if he would accept us.
I would need but claim you as part of my retinue, and it would be all but assured.
It's very generous of you.
I am a generous man when so persuaded.
But we have done nothing to persuade you, Hervikos.
You have not.
Not a thing.
Your companion Armin has.
He is not my companion.
It is
hardly
true, I
know
am
him
not
from
companion
Adam.
to the sister. And Mika nods. Then perhaps some foresighted generosity can be returned in the future.
I would prefer it that way. If you want something from me, I would prefer to know it ahead of time. I know
And
so
ahead
many
of time
things
you will
ahead
know
of
it.
time.
I was brought to an understanding that there are so many of your clan sister that are out of time. That time is an illusion.
That too.
As you say. Well then. I am curious, what was the nature of disposal?
Gisela looks, for the first time, after not looking at anyone in the room, pointedly at Jack.
Jack is still looking at Rosalind, but once the disposal gets brought up, just his head turns to Micah. Jill took care of him.
In what way? I am curious. Did he die well?
No,
There was an attempt for him to die well, but it failed. I tried anyway.
In what regard? I did not hear a scream. I did not hear any attempt to flee.
no, he did not attempt to flee.
I gave him happy, pleasant visions of his afterlife, so there was no need to scream. Mein gnädiger Herr.
It seems as if kindness is flowing in bouts this evening.
I am nothing if not kind.
Where did your companion abscond to? Did they take it hard? Dismissing.
Jill said that she needed a moment.
They're taking it very hard. Yes.
Very well.
So me through. Do you have any dealings with my brother?
As I said, Mitru the Hunter has been a thorn in my side, many times traveling through Transylvania. But he is a good prince. He controls his realm well. He ensures order. At least I believed he ensured order until this skullduggery happened. Now, perhaps I am not sure.
Do you happen to have a trustworthy messenger?
I do. Would you like to send a message to your dearest broodmate?
No, I have no reason to talk to Mitru. My sire, however.
Your sire is a tricky one to find.
That's why
His
it's
range... He ranges well into the lands of the Mongols. He's...
Fuck. Alright, never mind.
Very well. If you would like to make your day sleep here or in your own accommodations, feel free. But I can have refreshments drawn. And we can enjoy the rest of the evening that we have as quickly as it fades. If my feeling is correct, we have a few hours, maybe an hour and a half, before the sun will rise and death will claim us once more.
You are most kind, Hervikos. I would take refreshments if they are available.
And a server walks in with goblets of wine. Passes them around.
Let's see on the sheet. I don't remember how many bullet points I
I'll
said.
give myself
yeah.
a blood book. Yes. If I will. Hungry.
Yeah.
So hungry.
Yeah. If there's like two goblets of wine,
Yeah, you
Jack's
can
just
get-
going to grab them and down them.
Yeah.
And since
Is
we're
there any other
done
pressing
talking-
business?
Oh, okay.
Just the coterie.
There might have been, but what happened to Jill has sort of blown everything out of my brain, to be perfectly honest.
I'm waiting for everyone
so
to tell me what's
sorry.
going on.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Jack is going to get into Rosalind's personal space.
Okay.
We need to talk.
About.
What your clan is capable of. I would owe you.
Talk.
Later.
There's no other business in the tent of Micah Vicos. And you guys are returning. We'll pan the camera over to Jill for a moment. And I think where we'll end today's session is in this moment, Jill, your body being piloted to be alone. Hazog kind of turns that inward eye to you. Do you know what happened?
So this is mind's eye, right?
Yeah.
I would say in this moment, considering it's how we represent ourselves and our minds can be different than how they physically represent in the flesh.
Mm.
In this moment, Jill is once again the little child that Jack found in the stables that day. She's curled up, she's wide-eyed looking up at him, and she's saying, I didn't know this would happen.
It is not your fault. I would have warned you if I could. Is this the first time?
She's just gonna nod her head.
Perhaps we could call it unfair advantage. The diablerie was commanded of me many times. The battle for the soul is one that takes hardening. The first is always so risky. Let me make this clear to you. I do not wish to be here any more than you wish for me not to. We should speak to your Tremere. I have heard that there is a ritual which can split us away from one another.
Jill's brow furrows then, and she's going to say, Father didn't ever have any kind words about the Tremere. Can they actually do things like that. To be fair, Father never told us much of anything about the Tremere outside of their shady.
I've seen what the Tremere are capable of. Wards that burn us like holy flame should we cross them. I have seen them create a weapon that even if the stake pierces the hand, the point will worm its way to the heart. I have seen them banish sunlight from entering a building. If anyone is capable, it is them. Although there is another option.
I'm listening.
It would result in neither of us truly getting what we want. We could walk into the sun together again, Jill.
There is an actual pause for a second, and she's going to say, I can't leave Jack alone.
I know of this Mika Vikos as well. It is said that he has kind of power. Knowledge. If the Tremere can't help, he is our last option. I do not entrust my fate to the fiends so often. But I have heard that he and his own followers have a ritual for this. Partaking of blood to quiet the soul.
Jill is going to stand up then, finally, as she stands, her visage shifting into her normal self. She's going to walk up to him, and she's going to say, it's worth a try. She's going to offer her hand, and she's going to say, for what it's worth, this was not my intent. My desire was to allow you to get revenge on Mitru.
And I could use your body for that, but I will not. I did not have so many years amongst the Canaanites as you have. But I think I've found mine far more exhausting. I am willing to rest in my melancholy. As he takes your hand, that will be the final scene of this episode 2. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a great time. We're going to go around one more time and talk about who we are and where you can find us, because I realized I didn't tell you where you could find me. Haha. We'll go ahead and we will start as we began. Druid by Night.
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky. I'm also the social media director for the Rolling Nomads, where we also play The Witcher Ways of Old, as well as host other TTRPGs, so you should totally check us out and subscribe and do all the things. And I've been Rosalind.
Hi. I am the Azure Butterfly who did not completely understand what Diablerie entailed until it happened. Bitchin. I am the creative director over at the Rolling Nomads. I am also on Witcher Ways of Old and stuff. I also have Azure Storytelling Studio there on Thursdays. You can also find me over at the azurebutterfly.ttv and all the social medias at the Azure Butter One. I have been Jill? ?
I'm Huddy, or Huddy Funchland. I'm a World of Darkness community ambassador, and you can find me everywhere at Huddy Funchland if you feel like it, but it's fine if you don't. I have been playing Sister Gisela von Heidenheim, a Malkavian nun who I don't think anyone in the Coterie knows that she's Malkavian at all
We're working
yet.
up to the conversation. We're
We'll
working
get
up
there
to it.
eventually.
We'll
She's
get
just
there.
weird.
Hello, I'm as, or as I was on all the social medias because I think I'm funny. That's where you can find me. You can find me here on the Rolling Nomads too during Witcher Ways of Old, or, Transylvania Beckons, which you just watched. And I've been playing Jack, the gangrel, who's about to make some questionable choices during a mental breakdown.
I'm Avery. I have been literally everyone else. You can find me at Golden Gwydion on all social media platforms. I also play in Witcher Ways of Old. And I'm the storyteller here. So, from all of our cantankerous canines, we wish you a good time zone. And we'll see you for the next episode. Have a good time.